That's it. That's the poster I want right here. KQ. I need individual posters of all the boys. I need individual ones. KQ. Are you hearing me? I hate technology. I will master it through sheer stubbornness, but I hate technology. Anyways, so I have finally found a microphone, my microphone. Once I finally get my mind together, I am planning on watching basically all the halazia content in order. I forgot that there were 2 pre-teasers, a prologue, and then there's the actual halazia music video, which I was planning on watching and explaining my ideas behind it anyways. And then also the epilogue that I have been avoiding this whole time. So we're finally gonna watch all that. Let's get this set up. So one of the reasons why I believe they dropped this so early is to do with the date. Hongjoon has mentioned that the date is important for their album releases because if you take a look at the World Movement, it is the exact same date as another album drop, and I forget which one exactly it is. I think it's Fever. Don't quote me on that. I will probably look at it and correct myself in this video. But one of the reasons why I think that they may have dropped it on December 30th is for the numbers. So 12/30. My hypothesis is that they will be dropping their next album, an actual official album. They'll be dropping it March 12th or March 21st. You know, either one could work. That is my going theory, especially with them being on tour through the month of February. And then they were doing all of their halazia performances in January before they started their tours. But my going theory is that their next album drop is going to be March 12th or March 21st. Reason being, if you invert the numbers 12/30, 03/21, or flip those two and it's 03/12. It's just my going theory again. There's a few other albums where they have inverted numbers or scrambled numbers and the numbers correlate, and it's not just the World one and the other one that matches that. I have a whole page on it, but anyways. So in this video, it's just them dropping the scarecrow and staring into the camera. This is actually another big scene in the official halazia music video. You know, pulling up the hood. And then everyone is there. Hold up. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. All of them are there. We have San in the background. You can see him here. And then we have Wooyoung in the front. Wooyoung is actually, I think, in the most forward. It's either that or he's tied with Mingi. It's one of the two. I'm pretty sure he's the most forward though, because Mingi is leaning backwards and he's leaning forwards in this. And I will explain my ideas on that later. Alrighty, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Alright, so this is teaser 2. I just had a thought. I need to rewind it though. So this is the underground scene that we have actually seen. It's a prominent part in the halazia music video. But what I'm realizing, the ceiling is lower, but I mean, when was the last time they danced in a solid concrete room? Hala hala. So what if this is them meeting up at the same old location, but now it's like the aftermath? And then I'm definitely going to be going back and double checking the lyrics. So this is the prologue. That's going to be a little bit longer. Okay, so the actual sphere. And then we're flashing back to the chromer. Several of those spheres. Okay. And this is more than likely more tied into the 30-minute the teaser that they did that disappeared for like a whole month. Wait, how many of those were there? One. Wait. So there was one, then they showed the chromer, and then there's multiple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those spheres. Just 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's not another one down here until it moves down. So that's the same one. So baby. I missed that. Sorry. Okay, so oh, that's from Answer, the chandelier. Not to mention the pose was similar to Sans when he starts out. Hold up. Excuse me, there was numbers. Two, 2, 1, 5, 2, 9. 2, 2, 1, 5, 2, 9. I can't see one of those. 2, 1, 5. A new 8 made their appearance. I love the special effects they did on Seonghwa. It just added to his ethereal appearance. And that bird. That bird. So next should be the actual music video. And I'll do my best to have one full watch through, and then I'll do one where I stop, in case you guys are here to actually watch the full music video all the way through. That little bird drives me nuts. Okay, one more and we're gonna play it with subtitles. Didn't realize I turned them off. Okay. I again, this is going to be the part where I do a lot of stopping and explaining of my ideas, not necessarily actual confirmed theories or thoughts. I have been trying very hard to keep all of my thoughts far away from other people's and other people's thoughts away from mine. So I have not watched much for Lore Team. This was my first official ateez music video drop since I became an ateenie. I became an official ateenie December 16th, and they dropped this December 30th. So, to say it took my breath away is an understatement. I believe I watched it 4 times when I first started watching it. So my first thought process off the bat was halazia, obviously. Black pirate. The hat, the mask, the chains on the outfit, obviously. It's an homage to halazia. Is it a scarecrow intended to scare away the officials of this alternate reality? Or is it an effigy to be burned? Which we do see that something does get burned, but that's at a slightly later time. Also, the yellow, kind of weird, because we don't see a lot of yellow in their music videos. I think one of the other prominent videos, for some reason, I want to say gorilla, but more like a light filter as opposed to actual props being a yellow gold color. I feel like there's another music video that has a lot of yellow themes to it. But I'll have to double check it. So in the second teaser, we understood that they lost gravity. They no longer have the same type of gravity that Earth normally does, so their world has been altered significantly already, but we're not sure the exact cause of this alteration. Let's see, in the rubble, pardon me, it looks like it's mostly cables and concrete, but I want to say, height-wise, it's definitely shorter than the original Hala Hala music video location. I don't know, it's a thought, I'm sticking with it. I don't know what the intended noise was supposed to be. My ears hear "Oh Lord," like praise thee, oh Lord. There's several screenshots in here that I just need them as posters by themselves. This is one of them. This is one that I immediately fell in love with, and then the other one is at the very end of the music video. You'll know as soon as it's up. But here, it's interesting because in a lot of their more cinematic music videos, we see the boys by themselves, but usually with a specific task in mind. So it's kind of like individual missions. So in this individual mission, we see Sangwa by the loudspeaker system. We see him by the halazia scarecrow. And we see him surrounded by people in blue. And this is not the first time we've seen people in blue. We've actually seen quite a few of these similar blue hoods in the Gorillaz music video. Blue is universally symbolic of innocence. So I'm guessing these are innocent civilians gathered to make a change. More than likely after the alterations from losing the device that altered their thought process. Yeah. Okay, so we see 2 or 3 different outfits. There's the actual like black and white hoodies that we see later on. There's the gray outfit with the bandage chest that we just saw. And then there's this one here. And this one is interesting because it involves like fur shawl, which screams caveman. And that's not correct, but it's the same stylistic design of like the caveman wearing the fur that, I don't know, I just think it's weird. And then San coming through, getting paralyzed. What if his solo mission was more dangerous? There's something I noticed when I was watching Answer earlier today, and it's that a few of the members, when they're meeting their alter egos, the halazia, Black Pirates, some of them were standing and some of them were sitting, and it kind of gave me thoughts on what types of missions they would have, because we see some of them have more technical missions versus others who have more physical missions, which my best example would be Hongjun, Captain, where he's usually literally on a solo mission, running somewhere. He's abandoned on a road all the time, and he's also usually at the forefront of a lot of like the fighting. So we see him standing inside of what looks like the chromer. It's a broken chromer. In the opening for one of the teasers, we definitely saw a chromer, and it's that same scene right before Yosang destroys it, so that way the androids can't get to it. So we see him holding broken glass. You can kind of see right here, broken shards of glass, the glass that holds in the sand, and then we also see him sitting in sand in a second, and the sand is all over the ground. This is making me have flashbacks to Prince of Persia. I only watched the movie, no one judge me. But like the sand glass, the universal one where they use the dagger and they stab it in and then they go back in time, that's what it's giving me flashbacks to. I haven't fully formed that thought. The sound of love's breath. So in these analysis, I'm going to presume that the love that they're talking about is more heavily leaning towards a romanticized friendship as opposed to actual romance. If it's going to be okay. So this is classic. If it's going to be okay, the person second guessing their missions. Is the end result actually going to be what they want versus what needs to happen? I love this line. I love Songhwa saying this line because he's such a worrywart. He makes sure everyone's okay, and he wants to make sure everyone's happy and safe. He also wants to make sure that they, as a group, have the correct image, and nothing that they do gets construed incorrectly. And so Songhwa having this line in this music video where everything has gone to shit, in my opinion, is phenomenal. Little bird that lost its voice. My brain immediately goes to Jongho, and Jongho is who comes up next, pointing out this is the first time we're seeing Yosang's scene this time around. And now everything's destroyed. We had a glimpse of that, just a tiny glimpse with Wu Yang's part in the middle of him and San having their duo choreography, where it flashed to him and then went right back to their dancing. The destroyed city is not something that we have visuals for when we are looking at San's part or when we are looking at Songhwa's part. And you can also tell there's been a slight difference in time based on the lighting. Yosang's scene is more gray, there's less light, versus the drums and the flags where there's still like some sunlight flickering through. Even with clouds, you can always tell what time of day it is. You still get the idea of how much daylight you still have, and so this significant change in time kind of also tells me something. Alright, whoops. Go back. I can hear the whispers. So, aftermath. Whisper's aftermath. He's seeing all this carnage that happened. Beginnings of a deep echo. Something is starting. Something big. Alright, and so here we have Jung-ho in a much more different atmosphere. I'm trying to think if this is reminiscent of another music video, but I can't think of anything like this exactly. Because this is giving me Smaug's treasure room from the fucking Hobbit, and nothing that in any of their music videos has made me think that before. We've got literal fires in the background, like all the way over here, but we still have those followers, those innocents, in blue hoods. We have Jung-ho standing above all of them. And this is making me think of, there's a Kingdom performance where they have that famous vocalization on a stage, and Jung-ho slowly walks up the staircase to be above everyone. And this makes me think of that. And I love the little, like, color change flickers in his eyes. Then we flicker over to Woo-young. And this boy, my goodness, he's wearing the hoodie. He's wearing the hoodie at the end of the scene where they burn the halazia mannequin, halazia scarecrow. Let's see, he's holding a hat. And then he's got a blank black flag next to him. And he's way far up above everyone else. Yeosang is more than likely down here. I'm gonna have to look at his part again and see if we have a little bit more of an idea structure-wise where he is in comparison to Woo-young in this aftermath scene. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely giving me Answer vibes, because we've got the broken chandelier, we've got the broken room. This is a different room than where the ginormous chromer is. And we've also, wait, so are those people? Are those people lying on the ground in their blue robes? This Converse, I love him to death. Are these people? Are these people in blue robes lying all over the ground? Or are those just the robes by themselves? And then Sangwa having his Jesus on the cross kind of moment. While he's literally flickering with the audio, the bass, the drums. Let me see. We have a wind blowing. Sangwa's turning his face into the breeze. Everyone's looking up to Sangwa. Okay, so Woo-young is sitting on a blue roof. I'm going to keep an eye out for that when Yeosang's part comes up again. I just love his rap so much. Right. So halazia, if hala hala is the war cry, the battle cry, the we're here to fight, halazia is the, not the prayer, but perhaps more so the call to action. Even if you don't fight, stand with us, show our numbers. Color this infinitely cold world. Bring color to this world. And he has red hair. Be the light, oh halazia. I'm going to see when everyone has fire / pink colored hair. Because I was just watching someone's reaction to Wave. And they watched the behind the scenes MV, and Hongjoon was very specific about how he will be able to do his part well because he dyed his hair red. That's not a direct quote, but it's very close to exactly what he said. And then in fireworks, San's hair was supposed to be a huge surprise. It was supposed to be a big surprise, but then he was so excited that he showed Hongjun during a live, and so it ruined the surprise. I love him to death. So we have Be the Light, Wooyoung with red hair. We have San in fireworks with bright, vivid pink hair, and then Hongjun in wave with red hair as well. So this building, I happen to pause it right in front. You can see all the people in hoods watching him. And this is dark. This is very dark. So, lack of daylight. I'm going to have to double check his lyrics, but I'm going to say, if we're going at this being within 16 to 24 hours, I would say what the time of day that we see Songhwa and Yoonho is when there seems to be the most light, so I'm going to place that between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. I'm going off of my time. And then we see Yosang, Wooyoung, and San's part being later in the day, so I'm going to place that closer to 7 p.m. The complete lack of light in this part could be the night before, if he's amping up more people. I feel like Hongjun in this part, I haven't even gotten to it in the second rewatch, I feel like Hongjun is still trying to be a leader, but in the sense where he knows he does not need to be with the team to give them the guidance. He is striking out on his own to prove his worth to himself and also the team. The team doesn't need to know that, but he's not going to believe that. So he is striking out on his own and being like, hey, there's going to be a big message, sign, gathering, go, help, da. So I feel like that's what he's doing here. He's speaking to the people. He's on his own, by himself. He's trying to reach them by telling them what it should be like. Because this ateez group is from World A, whereas halazia is from World C, and I feel like halazia maybe was lacking the compassion to spread the message, and so maybe ateez is trying to counteract anything that they did by making it more about emotion and truth as opposed to this is wrong. Rambling. Hopefully. Damn, it's fast. So yeah, he's dropping Wooyoung is dropping something. I know he's dropping the scene in, and it's a perfect transition. It's beautiful. It's lovely. But the fact that he includes it in the dance routine as well, as opposed to just in the music video, he's dropping something. He's physically dropping something. I'm not talking like he's dropping a bomb or anything like that, but like, let me take real breaths. Let me dance a real dance. Let me dream a real dream. So yeah, he's speaking to the people. He's saying, this is what you should be able to do. This is what I get to do every day. Let me share this with you. Let me feel all of these senses. Even love has been swallowed up. Where waves are made. Waves. Here in this place. This movement that will last forever. So yeah, okay, so my theory tracks. He's talking to the people. He's trying to get them. See how they're not looking at Hongjun. They're looking where he's basically directing them to. He's saying, go here. This is where the movement is. This is where we're gathering. This is where we'll make our stand. Beyond this road lies expectations within expectations. So, needs within needs. Deadlines within deadlines. Once you travel down this road, you'll find everything we've promised, the expectations, what we've promised you, what we've said is out there. It's finally here. It's going to be here beyond this road. Where do I stand amongst the next and future generations? So that would be more so him questioning his leadership. He's up here with the halazia mannequin, so he's technically with Sangwa. But his message, Sangwa is in this pale uniform and he's in black. Is he suffering from self-doubt? Is he doubting that he or ateez can complete the mission? Do we see Sangwa? And then is this phrase here, freedom? Let's see. Everyone's looking towards the halazia scarecrow. The sound of love's breath. I want to know if it's all going to be okay. So that was Sangwa's line at the opening. But one thing I want to point out, same room. So we saw Yoonho in that room, we see Mingi in that room, and then we're going to see, so now we saw Yoonho, and then we saw Mingi, and now we're looking at San, Jongho, and Wooyoung. And this is definitely really similar to Answer. And it's a little bit more difficult with all of the giant blue bodies not sitting on the ground anymore. Yeah, they definitely cleared up all the dead bodies. But this lighting is actually a little bit less bright than it was for Yoonho's scene. Let me check Mingi's. So, lighting-wise, this seems more yellow. Let me double check it. And then Mingi's part here also, this daylight. It's misty. But this is definitely... Okay, maybe I'm going to change my times. What if instead it's morning? This lighting is indicative of morning. Morning sunrise, not morning death. Morning sunrise. What if this is indicative of morning? And so Hongjun's part, with it being dark, is more like 4 a.m.? Wooyoung and Yosung's part is more like 5 a.m., 5 to 6 a.m. And then this here is more like 8 to 9 a.m. So no bright, warm sun yet. And then what we're seeing in... I gotta finish. Let me play that. Lighting seems a little bit darker. There's more shadows. So this is definitely not the same time of day as what Mingi and Yoonho's scene is in this room. There's piano, there's a chair, there's 2 chandeliers. So this part is what has stuck in my brain since I first watched this, because it's so interesting. Wooyoung is cutting down Jungho's arm so he will let go of San. Wooyoung is not hurting San, he's hurting Jungho in this demonstration. It's a knife. He's digging it in, he's pulling it down, trying to get him to let go. And then also the contrast of colors is also really prominent. And then if we look back on San's individual scenes, which is him basically in the rain, he's in that escalator mall thing, and then we see Jungho, and there's no daylight. There is no daylight where he is. There are flames in the background, and it is completely encased. He is in the darkness. He is in a deep, dark pit. And he's wearing black clothes here, and San is wearing white clothes. And see, he's cutting them away. He's cutting them away, and Jungho is pulling his arm away, and San is relaxing his arm. And see, there's another knife. So San is stabbing himself. The sound of love's breath, my heart. Heart, love. He's not stabbing his heart, but he is stabbing himself. Sacrifice, self-sacrifice. He's cutting away. San is pulling his arm in relief, and Jung-ho is spinning away. And then, oh, I wish I could go back smaller amounts. I gotta figure out all the buttons. So they're facing forward, he's facing backwards. You see that? There, we can see their eyes. He is turned away entirely. He's turning away from the front. He's turning away from the camera. See that sunlight? Yeah, it's a lot more bright in this room. Okay, so yeah, we definitely see Yeosang meet up with everyone as they move in the back. So yeah, everyone's moving. Here's the halazia scarecrow, which means Songhwa is somewhere right here because the wind is blowing this way. You can see it's blowing this way. There's the flags. And the lighting is correct, so he is showing up right on time. So yeah, and then there's also all the blue hoods still here. There were some theories that he was in a different world. I remember some people mentioning that he was in an alternate world, and so he was showing up late. He was showing up to the wrong scene. But no, he's here. I just love the effects that they used on his eye. This is not the same hat that is on the halazia scarecrow. That's all I can tell you from this scene. And that necklace is really distracting me, Woo Young. Yeah, hat's not the same. No one else is looking at the camera except for Woo Young and perhaps Songhwa. No, Yoonho's looking at it. Yeah, he's looking at the camera. Oh, and Yeosang's looking at it too. So that scene, we see a two-finger salute, promise, kiss, everything. In a few other ones, the more prominent one is Wonderland, where they bow with it. And so yeah, I don't think it's like a finger gun, like, but more so it has to do with the start of them doing their cross. Yeah. And I'm burning the hat. Ugh, my friend spoiled me on a detail when I first got into ateez, and she says that there's a speculation that Woo Young ateez and Woo Young halazia got switched. And this makes vague sense, but I'll explain better on my idea at the end of this. So they're pulling that chain that San grabs in a second. So, in the, what was it, prequel 2, we saw 6 of those spheres. And I'll be honest, these spheres remind me a lot of the Gorillaz speakers. And there were 3 of those too, I think. Maybe I'll watch Gorillaz tonight and count how many speakers there are, but I'm pretty sure there were 3. And there are 6 of these spheres. Everyone's helping to pull it down. What have we been silent for? So going back to prequel 2 with the subtitles. They were waiting. They were waiting for halazia to come back. Was ateez waiting, or were other people waiting? And so Hongjun is questioning why did they wait so long? Why is ateez sacrificing themselves for people that won't act? Or why is ateez doing the work for halazia when it's halazia world, it's their responsibility? If one wish could be realized, would you grant me the light? From hot passion instead of cold despair. Yeah, Mingi's feeling a lot of self-doubt. San is the only one we see actually physically pulling the chains. That was in the dance choreo where they seem to be pulling something, but he's the only one physically pulling it. So this is his solo mission, is to rally people to bring down the spheres. There are theories that the spheres are the emotions, but if emotions are just taken and converted into energy by the government, why would the government have them be so big? I mean, like, that doesn't seem reasonable at all. Multiple of these spheres joined, because it's not a solid mass if it's emotion. It is altered to appear as a solid mass, so it's easier for breakdown and use of, like, fuel, whatever they're using it for, I can't remember. If we start off with 6 of those spheres and then they converged and morphed like a blob, if they converged into one ginormous one, and then gravity, because of how intensely weighty the emotions are, it kept it in the air, and so it was more difficult to pull down as it was getting bigger and bigger and conjoining with the other 5 spheres. What if that's why? See, then we have Yuno doing this 2-finger salute, 2-finger promise. Clear the darkness, oh halazia. So yeah, this clear the darkness, oh halazia, makes me think it's still more of that. I'm going to use the word prayer. Halazia is a prayer. It's not really what I mean. There's another word for it, but I can't configure it in my brain. So Wooyoung is dancing by himself on this rooftop right here. He doesn't have the hoodie. He's got the same outfit on. I just had to point it out. And then Sun. We have Sun forefront and center. The only other time that we see him like that is similarly in Wonderland, when he's in the back and he steps up on the dancers' backs and he throws his arms out, falls back. It's similar. That's it. That's the poster I want. Right here. This. KQ. I need individual posters of all the boys. I need individual ones. KQ. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? The amount of emotions I felt when I first saw this. Okay, and then also notice there are no more people. There are no more people. They pulled that thing down and it fell. We do not know how long it took for it to fall. What if there's there's only one chain visible, really. That's this one here in the background. And I don't think it was San's. Maybe it was. No, it's someone else's. But we don't know how long it took for that sphere to fall. What if them pulling it to a certain degree increased its weight at a certain level? And so it finally fell officially, but it fell slowly. And so everyone left and San waited to see it fall. He was so mesmerized by it, slowly falling, that he just kept getting closer and closer, not even noticing the water was creeping up his ankles and knees. Alright. And then these guys. We see a glimpse of one of them when we are watching one of the teasers. I want to say it's this one right here, but I can't tell because I can't see his roots. Four. I don't see anyone else in any of the other glass scenes. And the bird. One single bird. Blue bird. And then that was also the outro for Halazia CD, the spin-off from the Witness CD. So we can actually see the blue bird flying and tweeting. You can hear it tweeting. That's how quiet it is. We can hear a slight pitter-patter of rain, but then we only hear the bird. So my guess is this is all happening well after the gathering. Obviously they're the witnesses, but I'm trying to figure out like actually who they are. And they move back so slowly. So the next one, yeah, epilogue. So I have not seen this. I've been avoiding it. No, I might have seen this one, but the next one I have not seen. So, put these on. Nope, I haven't seen this. So it is a bluebird. Sun was where San was. Same witness. There's a flashlight. All four witnesses. The ring, or the bracelet. So again, this is aftermath giving. This is giving me aftermath. So San's already a bubble sphere. And then San was going to check on it. Is it really okay? Is everything fine? Is it really going to be okay? And he sees that bird. The bird is probably like the brightest speck of color he's seen in a while in that dystopian hellscape. And we have the witness who's leading someone away, and someone's the only one that's seen them before. Where did he get that flashlight though? That's what's bugging me. They are wearing white, similar to the androids. They're wearing white similar to the androids, but the outfits themselves are not similar to the androids. I feel like I've seen them before. One thing I immediately went to check was the reflection in the bottom here. And then I'm pretty sure Woo-young is in this building here. He's on this rooftop when he is filming. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 based on their positions on the floor. And they did really good. So this beam is perfectly centered on them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Woo-young is on this rooftop right here, watching the whole thing. Lights went out. Lights went out, they're gone. He finds the bracelet. The bracelet that was dropped at the beginning of his adventuring diary. Is it the same one or is it a duplicate? Because the whole reason for us finding it in the diary is there was a girl dancing and she just falls off her wrist, and Sangla picks it up and is enamored with this simple phrase. There's actually a lot of bird imagery in the diary series, now that I'm remembering. I'll have to double check that when I rewatch again. Because, I mean, freedom, you immediately think of a bird, right? Like a flying bird. There's the whole, a bird in a cage versus a bird free kind of symbology. and there's the feather. There's the blue bird, and then there's the blue feather. There's a lot of feathers everywhere. So I'm checking the reflection in the ground again, just for anything. But no, nothing. So I'm trying to remember. I got nothing. I have to actually like sit down and write down all of my thoughts for halazia before I can give an actual summary. But I just wanted to start off with like a reaction video of some kind. And more than likely this will be a similar format to how they go in the future. I really do try to avoid spoilers, and actually I did pretty good, I think. There were pictures on Twitter and stuff like that, but I couldn't avoid that. I'll leave with this last thought. I promised I would say something. So my idea for Uyung is that I am absolutely spoiled on my friend's theory that Uyung has been swapped with the other halazia member, and so ateez has the halazia Uyung. And the reason why I like the idea is because Uyung is trying to not guide but direct the team to better endings. If Uyung gets a hold of the chromer, or gets a hold of some sort of time travel device of some kind, and he's bouncing around trying to find the right ateez team that will be able to fix his team as well as the world, I don't know, I feel like Uyung is more selfish than that, because I feel like Uyung is more selfish in the fact that he just wants his team to be together. His team. He doesn't want another team. He's very fond of his specific team. I feel like all of the ateez members would be like, there's no dropping them for anything. So Uyung is trying to guide the ateez group to fix the world, because he already lost all of his members. And their previous symbol was the hat, and that's who they met. Well, hopefully this edits well. Thank you for joining me on this sporadic, eccentric video. I hope it got you all thinking about other theories, and I hope it also maybe answers some questions for you. If you have been staying till the end, I appreciate you. I hope to give you more of my ramblings and musings soon, but I'll be going back, starting at the beginning with Fever, and going in that order and trying to come up with the correct order for all of the music videos as opposed in accordance with the storyline. So if that interests you and you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. No judgment if you don't. If you just kind of keep following along, I won't mind that as well. If you have any questions, thoughts, theories of your own, go ahead and comment them. Just go ahead and drop a like, and that way maybe I can get more views. If I have more encouragement, that certainly wouldn't hurt my ego. Otherwise, you can find me on TikTok. Otherwise, you should be able to message me here. I really should make another Twitter if this gets big. I'll do that. I'll make a Twitter if we hit 100 subscribers. How's that? Yeah? Maybe I'll make an Instagram. Instagram is easier. Maybe I'll do that. In the meantime, I hope all is well. I hope you stay safe and healthy during these trying times. It's winter. We have a snowstorm coming in tonight / tomorrow morning, and I am not excited to go to work. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for staying with me, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening, morning, or afternoon, whatever time of the day it is for you. Bye. And then Mingi's hair is like, flame colored, but he's also, I love him to death. He's a beloved nerd who likes Rengoku from Demon Slayer. I don't know if you can see my collection. See, boy. Okay, alright, I'm done being distracted. So they're not looking at Hongjun. They are looking where he is gesturing with his lovely chest.